What's up guys, back in today with another video on the channel, and today I'll be showing you guys my votes for the 2022 Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Really enjoy doing videos like this. I done one not so long ago about my tier list for the shows I watched in 2021 if you guys want to check that out, although there'll be many different categories in this video, so it has a little bit more variety for you guys, which I think will be better. But I have had a little look over the suggestions and the votes as well, and a lot of oddballs in there, a lot of very controversial picks that Crunchyroll chose to be nominated for some awards. So again, looking forward to speaking about that with you guys and seeing some of your thoughts as well. If you guys want to let me know some of your thoughts in the comment section, that would be really awesome. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with any of my reactions on the channel. And let's get right into the voting, guys. Okay, so we'll look a little at the categories before we get right into the voting, guys. First of all, we got Anime of the Year. Then we've got Best Boy, Best Girl, Best Protagonist, Best Antagonist, Best Fight Scene, Best Director, Best Animation, Best Character Design, Best Score, Best VA Performance, Best VA Performance English, Best Opening, Ending, Best Action, Best Comedy, Best Drama, Best Romance, Best Fantasy, and Best Film. Now, again, there's a lot of things missing from my personal point of view. Again, I did have a little look over this before I have started, and again, yeah, there's lots of shows missing in my opinion, and movies especially. Towards the bottom. Of course, for some of these I won't be able to vote for example, the voice acting for the English, as I haven't actually watched any dubbed anime this year, so unfortunately I won't be able to vote for that. But we'll get right into our vote for Anime of the Year, or should we save that one for last? I think we'll start with that. So for Anime of the Year, we've got 86, Jujutsu Kaisen, the second core. Again, I think that is just the second half of the show, the last 12 episodes. Ranking of Kings, which isn't fully finished yet. Attack on Titan final season part 1. Odd Taxi, and Sunny Boy. The only one I haven't actually seen out of these is Sunny Boy, so that is kind of automatically out of the rankings, but I might have to check out if it has been nominated for Anime of the Year, and it's by Madhouse, so I imagine it's going to be pretty good. Out of these, I didn't really enjoy 86 all that much. I think I might have been missing something there for me personally out of the enjoyment of that. Just always felt like I was missing a bit of information or something with that show. I'm not 100% sure why, but that is not in the books for me. Neither is Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2. I actually preferred the start of Jujutsu Kaisen than the second half, although there was a lot of awesome fights in the second half. Again, a lot of craziness happened in the first half, so I actually preferred the first half of that. So I don't think that is in the running for Anime of the Year for me. I think it has got to be between Ranking of Kings, Attack on Titan, and Odd Taxi. I actually think Odd Taxi and Ranking of Kings are pretty damn even for me, although Ranking of Kings hasn't finished yet, so that does detriment that a little bit, if that's a word. Odd Taxi was absolutely amazing. It did have a few slow episodes here and there, but the top episodes were top tier, so definitely deserves a mention here, as well as Ranking of Kings, obviously. So those two are a close second for me, but I think what will take it is Attack on Titan, the final season, part 1. I rewatched it again just before I started the second season just now, and it's just absolutely insane. No bad episodes throughout the whole thing, so definitely got to vote for that, just on quality of episodes alone. Story as well was just absolutely awesome, so we'll vote for Attack on Titan, the final season, part 1 there. Again, notable that there's no ReZero or Mushoku Tensei or Gintama the final. I think that would have been in the movies, but we'll get to that later if you guys have already seen. But yeah, there's a few shows missing here for me personally. Dragon Maid as well. One, I think I'm forgetting one, but I can't quite remember what it is. But yeah, just interesting that the second core of Jujutsu Kaisen and this again, I haven't seen Sunny Boy, and 86 are all must all be quite. Well, I know Jujutsu Kaisen is, and I know 86 is. They must all be very popular to beat out again some of the ones I did just mention there. We will confirm that vote, and that is Attack on Titan for our Anime of the Year. We'll next go on to Best Boy. I'm not 100% sure how long this video is, so apologies, guys. Best Boy, we've got Senku Ishigami from Dr. Stone Season 2, Odokawa from Odd Taxi, Draken from Tokyo Revengers, Mikey from Tokyo Revengers, two Tokyo Revengers making it here, which is interesting as that was a show that was very hit or miss for people. Boji from Ranking of Kings, and Izumi Miyamura from Horimiya. I think initially I've got to take out Izumi Miyamura, although he was an interesting character. I didn't enjoy that show all that much. It's interesting that it was just a 12 episode show. I think it could have been a lot longer and a lot more developed in that aspect, but yeah, I don't think that was the best or my favourite character at all. Senku was pretty damn good in Stone Wars, wasn't he? I do remember a lot of the focus being on some of the side characters during the Stone Wars season, though. So again, another character as well as Miyamura, I'm not going to take into consideration, I don't think. Although I do really enjoy Senku and his science. Odokawa, which is a great performance for me personally. I just love how the voice actor managed to keep this kind of dead tone throughout the whole show. Almost the tone that I had when I started this YouTube channel, to be honest, and probably still have. But yeah, a character I can relate to quite a lot, so he's definitely in contention for me, as well as Boji, of course. Boji has been absolutely awesome in Osama ranking. Of course, the guy doesn't speak, and he's still one of the top characters of this year for me, just out of him trying to speak and trying to get words out and him acting stuff out as well. It's just the characters made me cry a little bit as well during the first couple episodes, so definitely someone I have to take into consideration, as well as Odokawa. We've then got Mikey and Draken, who are two great characters in Tokyo Revengers. Again, I'm not 100% sure they both should be listed for Best Boy of the Year. I think Mikey in particular had some great kind of character progression. Draken had some good moments as well, but I think Mikey had a little bit more progression than Draken in the show, and got explored a little bit more with that final arc, for example. It seems like Draken was almost on the verge of death every arc, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, two good characters again. I wouldn't put them in the vote for Best Boy of the Year, though. Personally, no hate for Tokyo Revengers, as I really like that show, and mostly it's character based. So obviously like the characters as well. So yeah, no hate there. But again, I don't think they're quite on the level of Boji and Odokawa. This is a really hard vote actually, because as much as they're such different characters, I like them both quite equally. I think I'm going to give it to Boji, just because again the kids made me cry a few times already, and I'm just so invested in his story right now. I think I've got to give it to him, though. Again, Odokawa is definitely a worthy representative for Best Boy. Another category I think they probably could have put some better characters in, maybe some characters from Attack on Titan or Mushoku Tensei or ReZero. Again, they're some of my favourites of the year, so you'll be probably hearing about them quite a lot. But yeah, just kind of seems like they're not really in tune. If they're the ones that pick these characters, they're not really that in tune with the anime community, or could just me being a bit pretentious there and just putting my opinions in the thoughts of others. But I think there's been a few more popular characters and shows than some of these this year, especially Horimiya. Yeah, we'll put Boji in there. Again, could have easily been Odokawa on a different day. We'll move to Best Girl now. Which might be a bit controversial, I imagine. We've got Melise from 86. We've got Nobara from Jujutsu Kaisen, just the second core. Shoku Komi from Komi Can't Communicate. Ai Oto from Wonder Egg Priority. Sarasa Watanabe from Kageki Shoujo, which is a show I haven't seen, and Toru Honda from Fruits Basket's the final season. I haven't seen the final season yet, but I've seen 2 episodes of the first season of Fruits Basket, so I don't think I'll be able to vote for Toru as much as I want to. She's been really awesome the first 2 episodes, so these 2 are out of the running automatically. We've then got Nobara, who was decent in Jujutsu Kaisen, especially in the second core. Actually, she did shine quite a lot towards the end of the season, didn't she? But again, she kind of comes in the story here and there and didn't get too much development, in my opinion. So I don't think I'll be putting her up for Girl of the Year. Neither with Shoko Komi. Again, I explained in my last reaction to Komi Can't Communicate that she didn't really get much progression other than the first episode where we saw her writing with Tadano on the board. That was a big bit of progression and a big bit of the story. And then after that, it was kind of slowly going uphill with her making friends and such. But it was just the kind of make friends one episode, make friends every episode, and didn't really add too much progression for her as a person, and it didn't really push her further. It just kind of gave her more numbers as friends. So personally, a character I really liked. Again, I really like her, but it's just a shame where the story went with her character, as it's a really great premise and a really relatable premise as well. So probably my disappointment, to be honest, of the year Komi can't communicate, but it is getting a second season, so hopefully they might be able to kind of up the levels there. We then got Melise, who's a great character from 86. Again, I didn't really get along with the 86 story all that well, but Melise was a great character, a very kind of pained character, having to look after this group of 86ers and hear their pains, hear their screams when they're dying and such, and just look after them as a unit. She definitely went the extra mile for them as well, and a character I definitely can appreciate. She actually did get some good progressions throughout the story, so she is in contention with A. Oto, who probably is going to be my pick, as I really liked her in One Direct Priority. Her voice actor done an awesome job. It's just a shame about the One Direct Priority ending, to be honest, isn't it? As that absolutely spoiled the show. But I think in general over the first season, I think Aoto was actually probably my favourite girl of the year. She was really awesome in that show. Got a lot of really cool action scenes, and she had some really nice progression with her mother, for example, and the teacher as well at the school. Again, the ending of the show kind of spoiled it a little bit, so that takes her down a little bit. But I think as a character, she probably was my favourite out of the ones I can vote for here. So best girl goes to I from Wonder Egg Priority. Definitely a show you guys should check out, but again, it's a bit rotten because of the ending, unfortunately. So we'll then move on to best protagonist, where we've got Eren Yeager from our Attack on Titan, the final season, part 1. Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen, the second core. Again, I just preferred the first half of Jujutsu Kaisen personally, and I think Itadori was great in that first half. It was good in the second half as well, don't get me wrong, but there was a whole lot of kind of action in the second half and not too much kind of character movements was there. Joe from Megalobox, which I haven't seen, Odokawa from Odd Taxi, Boji from Ranking of Kings, and Oto from Wonder Egg Priority. Now this is going to be quite tough, isn't it? Because another interesting point is Eren Yeager wasn't put in for Best Boy. I was thinking maybe with Best Boy they only pick kind of younger seeming male characters. It does seem like they're all pretty young except for Odokawa. I'm not really sure what their kind of definition of Best Boy is, to be honest, because surely Eren Yeager or Reiner or someone from Attack on Titan would be in there. Again, I'm a bit bemused by the people they put in the votes. I'd like them to have a few more options, if anything, to be honest with you guys. There's only 6 for each category. And obviously there's a lot of anime that comes out during the year, isn't there? But yeah, we've got Odokawa, Boji, and Oto. Now, this is going to be tough because we've got the best girl and the best boy in one sitting, and Eren Yeager as well. Odokawa, who just missed out on best boy. And again, I don't think I'm going to rank this Joe guy. Although I think I will have to watch Megalobox, as I've heard good things, especially about the first season. Again, Itadori, I don't think he'll be in contention for me. He's a very good protagonist, one of the more interesting shonen protagonists in my opinion. Although, again, I preferred him in the first half of Jujutsu Kaisen than the second, as he just got a bit more progression there, and obviously setting out the kind of tone and the story of the show in the first half makes you know a little bit more about him and kind of develops him more in that first half, obviously, doesn't it? Although I think my pick here will have to be Eren Yeager. I think he just creates such an intrigue in the first half of Attack on Titan, the final season, and just does so many awesome moments and creates so many awesome moments that creates this great story for the final season, doesn't he? So I think it's definitely got to be Eren Yeager. Again, I think if he was in Best Boy, he probably would win Best Boy, as again he just does so much for his story, doesn't he? Again, no hate for Boji, Odokawa, or Oto. They all probably could have all in close contention, of course, but I think Eren Yeager's got to take the cake for that one. We'll then move on to best antagonist. Well, we've again got Eren Yeager. Wow, can you imagine that? Can you imagine if he wins both best antagonist and protagonist? Can you really put him down for both here? I mean, I guess it makes sense, as he's an antagonist to Marley. That he's been the protagonist for the show the whole way through. I'm a bit weirded out by that one, to be honest. I'm not sure if I can vote for him here. Odd. But again, I guess he is kind of an antagonist against Marley, but we only ever really see Marley's point of view for the season he's voted for, to be fair, so I guess it makes sense. Alright, so we've got Eren Yeager, we've got Tomola Shigaraki from My Hero Academia Season 5, which is a nice addition, as he was one of my favourite parts of the season. Yano from Odd Taxi, the rapping guy. Ekidona from ReZero season 2. Is that just season 2 as a whole? I'm guessing part 1 and part 2. Shindo Adam from Skate the Infinity, which I haven't seen, so I can't vote for that guy. And Kisaki Teta from Tokyo Revengers, another one I probably won't be able to vote for, just because we haven't really seen that much of the guy. We only really got a good look at him towards the end of the season. He was here and there in the story, but not quite on the level of antagonist as these guys, I don't think, because again, it's kind of more setting up for Kisaki rather than him being the main antagonist of the show at this point, in my opinion anyway. So I think for me it's between probably Shigaraki, Ekidona, Eren, and Yano. I don't think Yano's got it, just because again he's a bit of comedy relief in there as well as an antagonist. So as much as he is kind of menacing, he is quite funny as well. So that takes away a little bit from him being this kind of scary antagonist. Although of course that's not what he's meant to be. But I didn't quite enjoy him as much as these three. Ekidona is definitely up there. I really enjoy her, although I kind of hate her during Amelia's trial as well, during part 2 of the season. But that does make her a good antagonist. In season 2, part 1 as well, she was absolutely awesome. Of course, she was pretty much all over that season, being really focused on the witches. She was a great addition to ReZero, definitely one of the best additional characters they've had from going from season 1 to season 2. So she's definitely in contention. Of course, we've got Shigaraki. We saw a lot of his backstory, and then a lot of his kind of coming to what he's going to be in season 6. I think he's going to be an absolute nightmare in season 6, but again, I'm not 100% sure I can vote for him just yet, as he's just kind of still getting there, isn't he, as a kind of big antagonist. So I think for me it's probably going to be Ekidona, to be honest. He's the most Eren Yeager, of course, special mention, but again, I don't think I can vote for him for both best antagonist and antagonist, protagonist and antagonist. So yeah, I think I'm going to go Ekidona, just because again she was such a big story part in season 2, wasn't she? Part 1 and part 2. She created again so many awesome moments, a bit like Eren Yeager as the protagonist, antagonist. She created so many moments, and she was kind of so the story was so story driven around her, and yeah, just being such a massive part of ReZero, one of my favorite animes of the year. I think I've got to give it to Ekidona. Although again she could be seen as a protagonist in some kind of light. She's a villain, that's for sure, but she's also got these kind of nice parts to her that she helps Subaru out, and again just creates some awesome relationships with Subaru and Emilia as well. So my vote there definitely goes for Ekidona. Always got to get some Ekidona appreciation in there. We've then got the best fight scene. I think this video might end up being quite long. I'm not sure how long it's been so far, but there's a lot of categories left. The best fight scene. Okay, so for the best fight scene, we've got Eren Yeager versus the Warhammer Titan from Attack on Titan Season 1 Part 2. That whole bunch of episodes was absolutely amazing. Naruto Uzumaki versus Otsutsuki, which I haven't seen. Yuji Itadori and Nobara Kugisaki versus Eso and Keshizu, which I think is from the last few episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen, the second core. Vivi versus Yugo, which I haven't seen. Elma versus Tori from Dragon Maid S. Nice to see some Dragon Maid S appreciation. That was a really awesome fight with some beautiful animation. And another Jujutsu Kaisen, Yuji Itadori and Aitoda versus Hanami. Now that fight went on for a fair few episodes, didn't it? Oh, this one is going to be tough as well. This one is going to be tough. As much as I really enjoyed this fight, I don't think it was up there for the best fight of the year for me for Jujutsu Kaisen, Itadori and Nobara. Obviously, I haven't seen this, so I think this side is all out of contention, but choosing between these three is absolutely ridiculous. All have their own kind of merits and all have very different merits at that as well, don't they? They all have awesome animation, but the animation styles between all three of these fights are very different as well. I think if it was just visual wise, I would pick Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. It's got some good story to that fight as well. So that is the one I'm kind of leaning towards at the minute. I absolutely love this fight with Todo, who's my favourite character in Jujutsu Kaisen, and Itadori versus Hanami. We've got some black flashes in there as well as some clapping from from Todo. It was just a really well executed fight and well kind of designed, and I can't remember the word. It was just a well designed fight and a well directed fight. And then Eren Yeager and the Warhammer Titan. Again, that whole sequence was absolutely awesome, wasn't it? This one is so hard. And of course, it's massive for the story as well. I think I will give it to Elmer and Toru, just because again the animation, the story impact was just very well done. Probably one of the most serious bits of business we've got from Kobayashi's Dragon Maid so far, and there was quite a lot of seriousness in that season. So I think it might be very much an underdog, but I think I will be voting for Elmer versus Toru. Again, these two could have won it on another day. Both brilliant fights for me personally. So yeah, we'll do Elmer versus Toru. Yeah, I have put these through. And then we'll move on to Best Director. Again, let me know what you guys would have voted for these categories down in the comment section. Really interested to see what you guys would have picked during some of these. As again, some of these are very hard choices. Then we've got Best Director, which I'm not a director. I don't really 100% know what a director does in anime, especially. I kind of have a better idea during movies and such, but I'm not 100% kind of clued up on what their job is. Of course, to direct everything, but yeah, I probably won't give you the best kind of look into this area. So we've got Jujutsu Kaisen, Sung-Hoo Park from Core 2, Baku Kinoshita from Odd Taxi, Shin Waka, oh god, this is going to be a nightmare, Wakabayashi from Wonder Egg Priority, Shingo Natsume from Sunny Boy, and Yo Moriyama from Megalobox, which again, those two I haven't seen, and then Attack on Titan, Yuichiro Hayashi from Attack on Titan final season. Again, I think I'll just have to vote for what I prefer the most out of these, which would be Attack on Titan the final season. It was very well directed as well, to be honest, giving us a whole bunch of new characters and a whole new setting, and actually fleshing it out really well, and still being part of this masterpiece of a story, and still being a really awesome part of that, and being one of my favourite seasons actually. And again, just to kind of introduce a new bunch of people like that is very well done. So I think if that does go down to the director, I think I will be voting for Attack on Titan there. Again, all three of these shows very good, probably very well directed, but again, I can't probably give the best look into that, can I? So we will be voting for Attack on Titan the final season. Next up, we've got Best Animation. So this is just on looks alone. So this is where Mushoku Tensei has been placed, which is interesting. Not the biggest takeaway for me from that series, but okay. We've got Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Mugen Train arc, the TV arc, I think that is. Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2, Mushoku Tensei, Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, Vivi, which I haven't seen, so I can't vote for that one, and Wonder Egg Priority. Now, all of these shows have some great animation. Again, some very different styles between Mushoku Tensei, for example, and Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. So again, this one is going to be tough. If they were, the Mugen Train arc is almost exactly like the movie, so it's hard to kind of call it apart. But that had some really nice animation. So did Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2 during the fight scenes. Although there were some episodes where I think they probably used some different people to direct the episodes, as some of the episodes did look very different and not quite as nice as others during the second core of that season. So I think, again, I'm going to leave that one out. I don't think I'm going to go for Kimetsu no Yaiba either. Again, I think I preferred the Kobayashi kind of style of animation during the season, and again, it was top quality all season. Mushoku Tensei is a very different, again, type of animation style, and a very nice looking animation style, that's for sure. Certainly for Core 1. Interesting. Of course, Wonder Egg Priority has some great animation as well. I think I'm going to go for Kobayashi's Dragon Maid again. Just that fight scene between Elmer and Toru, there was lots of great fight scenes, and just the animation in general during that season was on point at all times as well. It was very consistent, so I will go for Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S again for Best Animation. We've then got Best Character Design. So that is Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2, Odd Taxi, Escape the Infinity, which I can't vote for, Vivi, which I can't vote for, as again I haven't seen either of them, Ranking of Kings, and Wonder Egg Priority. Now this is tough. Wonder Egg Priority's got some good character designs in there, not many, but some good ones. Odd Taxi's got a lot of characters in there, and again, all kind of based on anime, all based on animals. yeah, I'm not 100% sure I can give it to a taxi, to be honest, just because, again, it's something we have seen before with Beastars, and I think Beastars do the character designs better than Odd Taxi, so it's interesting that Beastars is nowhere to be seen on this list either. Maybe we might see it later with the openings and endings, though, as that has an absolute banger ending. I think for this one, I like the ranking of King character designs, but I think they are a little bit more kind of plain and simple than the other shows on this list. So I actually think my vote has got to go for Jujutsu Kaisen. I think just the amount of character designs and the variety of character designs as well is really good. Although you can see they all have this kind of theme and they all fit into the show. Again, there's a wide variety, and especially some of the monsters and such as well. So I actually think, yeah, my vote will be going for Jujutsu Kaisen, the second core. And the villain designs as well are all great. So yeah, I think this one's definitely got to go to Jujutsu Kaisen in that aspect. Best score, which is best soundtrack, I believe. We've got 86, Hiroyuki Sawano and Kota Yamamoto. I'm not going to read these names actually. Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train arc, Odd Taxi, Megalobox and Vivi, which I can't vote for again as I haven't seen, and Wonder Egg Priority. An interesting name for who had done that one, DD Mouse. Another tough one. I don't actually think any of these are my favourite. I think my favourite's ReZero, but other than ReZero, Odd Taxi definitely had some good songs in there. I think Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train arc, the TV version of it had some really nice songs in there as well. This one's a tough one. Again, none of these are my actual favourites. I definitely have ones I prefer over these, but I think out of these, I think I will go for the Demon Slayer Mugen Train arc. That's the most memorable one, I think, and that's the one that's kind of standing out for me. Don't really actually listen to too many kind of soundtracks during the show. I mostly listen to openings and endings for the show in my own time, so not one I can give you again the best opinion of, just like the director one, unfortunately, but the one that stands out for me here is the Demon Slayer the Mugen Train arc. So that is what I will vote for. The best voice acting performance from a Japanese voice actor. I've got a couple of Attack on Titan ones here, with Ayane Sakura being Gabby Braun. Had some really powerful moments. Eren Yeager, he really took it down a notch. I think they used the same voice actor as they've used for every season up until that point, and very impressive that he kind of took it down and took it a deeper notch as well. Because if you look at Eren Yeager from the first and second seasons, he's very kind of rambunctious and very high energy in his voice. So he's done a very good job changing his voice up for the season, hasn't he? We've then got a couple characters I haven't seen, Kiyoshi Kobayashi from Lupin the Third, and Ao Yuki being Kumoko from So I'm a Spider, which again I haven't seen either of those, unfortunately. We've then got Odokawa from Odd Taxi and Ai Oto from Wonder Egg Priority. Again, I praised Ai's voice actor a lot when she was best female, so she's definitely up there for me, as her voice actor done a brilliant job. Displaying all kinds of emotions in a kind of poorly young girl. Same with Gabby as well. She, although she's not quite as kind of deep and kind of depressed as I'm not really sure depressed is the right word, to be honest, but not quite as emotional as Ioto. She definitely puts a lot of power into her voice, and she does have those moments where she's like scared the shit out of, for example, and her voice goes to these extreme highs and then goes back to like a normal young girl's voice. So very good voice acting by her as well. And Eren Yeager, although again I think my pick here has probably got to be Odokawa. I mentioned it earlier. Again, respect to these voice actors, but Odokawa's voice actor managed to keep that kind of dead, very almost depressing sounding voice throughout the whole show, and it hit me really good because of the comedy moments when he uses that voice as well. Just absolutely hilarious, and again very relatable for me personally, having a kind of monotonish voice. I can relate to him quite a bit, and just his delivery of some of the lines was absolutely great. So I think my vote for that one has got to go to Odokawa, though again I and Eren Yeager are very close, as well as Gabby. Probably goes 1, 2, 3, 4 for that section, but vote goes for Odokawa. Again, I won't be able to do the best performance for an English voice actor. I haven't seen any dubs this year. We'll then go to best opening sequence, which we've got the first opening from Attack on Titan, the final season. We've got Kaibutsu from Beastars. We've got I No Supreme from Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. We've got Vivid Vice from Jujutsu Kaisen. Luckily, I've seen all of these actually. We've got Odd Taxi from Odd Taxi, and we've got Crybaby from Tokyo Revengers. Now, another tough one, as I listened to all of these songs on my own time. Some more than others. I don't actually listen to the first opening from Attack on Titan, the final season, at all, really. So I think that one's out of the running. Although it is a good song, again, it's not my kind of style to listen to on a daily basis. Kaibutsu is really good. I Know Supreme is really damn good as well. Just very happy vibe with the Kobayashi Dragon Maid opening. Yeah, just always makes me smile. Kaibutsu good for different reasons. For Vivid Vice, which is, I actually preferred the first opening for Jujutsu Kaisen. Can't remember what that one's called, but of course that's not listed here. So it's Vivid Vice. The animation during this opening was really nice, though. I do remember that. Probably the nicest out of any of these. We've then got Odd Taxi, which is another banging song. Some nice visuals there as well that kind of give you details for the series. Not as nice visuals as the other shows, of course, because it's in a very certain style, but nice in its own right. And then we've got Crybaby from Tokyo Revengers, which is a song I listened to a hell of a lot. Really, really good song, and some nice visuals in there as well. Probably not as good visuals, again, as some of the other four on this list, but I think in combination, I think for me it is probably between I Know Supreme and Kaibutsu. But I think I'm going to go I Know Supreme again. Just some very fun, very colourful visuals in there from all the characters, and the song is just an absolute belter. Definitely give it a listen to if you haven't. It's a very kind of uplifting song and definitely make you smile. So my vote there goes for the Dragon Maid opening, for Dragon Maid S. And then we've got Best Ending Sequence. Just going to change the song up real quick. We'll just kind of run it back. Yeah, apologies about that. We then got Best Ending Sequence, which is going to be Attack on Titan's ending for the final season. I've got Yasashi Suse for Beastars, season 2. Shirogane from Demon Slayer. We've got Nai Nai from Shadow House, which is one I haven't seen. Ganbare Kumako from Spider, which I haven't seen, and Infinity from Skate the Infinity, which I haven't seen. So all three of these, unfortunately, won't be up for the vote. So it's between Attack on Titan, Beastars, and Shirogane, and I think I've just got to click Beastars, to be honest with you guys. Instantly, Attack on Titan ending is beautiful. If this wasn't here, this would be the outright winner in my opinion. Although Shirogane was good as well, this would be the outright winner in my opinion. But the ending for Beastars season 2 is awesome. Again, definitely watch it if you haven't watched the series, and it might get you into the series, as there's some beautiful visualizations in the opening, and some beautiful animation in there, and just some beautiful kind of pictures of the show. I'm giving it a bad I'm explaining it badly, but trust me, it looks absolutely amazing, and it sounds even better. The song is absolutely great. Definitely give it a listen and a watch through if you guys haven't seen it. So my vote for the best ending goes to Beastars season 2. And then we'll move on to best action. Again, a bit of a shame for Attack on Titan, the final season, part 1, during that ending sequence, as that could have won it quite easily if Beastars wasn't there. Again, a few of my favourites not being part of the openings and endings. ReZero again, Mushoku Tensei as well, of course, but that Mushoku Tensei will never get too much appreciation for the openings, especially, will it? Just because the visuals change every time and are a part of the episode, so it makes it a bit harder to watch just by itself. But brilliant in their own right, aren't they? We've then got the best action. For this, we've got Demon Slayer the Mugen Train arc, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2, and Wonder Egg Priority. I won't be voting for SSSS, Dyna, Zenon, or Vivi, as again I haven't seen them. For the best action, I think it's quite easy, to be honest. Attack on Titan. I mean, Wonder Egg Priority is an action. It's got action elements in there, but it's not focused too much on the action, is it? So I can't really give it to that. The action is quite nice during some of the fights, but again, there's not all that much of it. Jujutsu Kaisen's got some nice fights in there as well as Mugen Train, of course. But I think Attack on Titan just has so many kind of stakes and so much kind of story invested in the fights. It just kind of overpowers the other ones in this category, in my opinion. So this one has got to go for Attack on Titan, the final season. And then we've got Best Comedy. I think this one's, I was about to say it's going to be tough, but Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, Heaven's Design Team, which I haven't seen, Life Lessons with Uromachi Onisan, which I haven't seen. I actually want to watch that because it looks quite good, actually. So I can't vote for either of those two. Then got Komi Can't Communicate, Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, and Odd Taxi. Now, this one is actually quite tough. It didn't look that tough, just because I'm automatically counting out these four. Although Komi has some good comedy moments. Again, just didn't really like the story all that much along with the comedy. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro had some decent comedy moments, but a bit like Komi Can't Communicate, it's just almost the same thing every episode, so it got a little bit boring for me. So I think for me it's between Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S and Odd Taxi. I think... That's tough because Odd Taxi has some hilarious moments in there. Almost every episode has some good comedy in it as well, and it does hit with the story and the more serious elements as well. But we are just ranking based off comedy. Kobayashi, exactly the same as Odd Taxi, to be honest, has some great comedy moments in there during every episode, and then has some really hard-hitting storylines as well. So this one is a big throw-up for me. This one is a big tough one. I've got to say, if we're talking about the amount of times I laughed, I think I've got to go Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Had some big laughs in there, had some big laughs in Odd Taxi as well, but just for the amount I laughed, I think I've got to go for Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S. Very tough pick between the two, to be honest. Very tough. If it could be a draw, it would be a draw. But I'll go for Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I've voted for a lot of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid during this voting, haven't I? I wasn't expecting. We've then got Best Drama. Then we've got 86. We've got Fruits Baskets, the final season, which I haven't seen. Kogeki Shoujo, which I haven't seen. We've then got Odd Taxi, Wonder Egg Priority, and To Your Eternity. Nice seeing Odd Taxi put in this genre as well. There's quite a lot of genres in there, isn't it? So, Best Drama. Again, I didn't really get 86 that much, so that won't be voted for either. So it's just between Odd Taxi, Wonder Egg, and To Your Eternity. First time we're seeing To Your Eternity, isn't it? And I think I will be voting for that. As purely a drama, it made me cry twice, or maybe even 3 times during the watch of the show. And the first episode didn't make me cry, but it was almost a perfect first episode. And I think it's funny, I'm listening to it right now, actually. To Your Eternity opening. So yeah, I think that takes the cake for me. As purely a drama, as purely the story being a drama, I think that makes sense. Wonder Egg Priority definitely a contender as well as Odd Taxi, but yeah, I think To Your Eternity just hit me in the heart a hell of a lot during its run. We'll then move on to Best Romance. I haven't actually seen that many romances this year. We've got Beastars, we've got Fruits Basket, the final season, which again I haven't seen. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, which interesting you'd call that a romance. Harimia, Komi Can't Communicate, and The Duke of Death and His Maid, which I haven't seen either. So this one is pretty easy. Again, the romance elements of Komi Can't Communicate were there in the first episode. They were there every episode after, slightly, but didn't really actually have any progression on the characters. Harimia was just too short for me personally. Had some good romance elements in there between a lot of the side characters and between Hori and Muramiya as well, but again was just a bit rushed, and again could have been a bit longer in my opinion. And Miss Nagatoro doesn't really seem to have any romance for me personally, so I will be voting for Beastars Season 2. Beastars Season 2 didn't really focus that much on the romance elements, but as a show I think I preferred it the most out of all of these, so that is the one I will be voting for. Again, didn't really have too much romance in there, but had that stripper scene I remember with that lioness, which was interesting. I guess that could be said as a romance moment, but yeah, I think that's my favourite out of all the shows put in there. We've then got Best Fantasy. Looks like we're coming to the end now. Best Fantasy, Mushoku Tensei's got a of a recognition, which is nice. Ranking of Kings. That time I got reincarnated as a slime season 2, which I haven't seen yet, which is very much a shame, as I've seen the first season. I'm not sure why I haven't seen the second yet, but definitely get onto that. The case study of Vanitas, which I haven't seen either. To Your Eternity and Wonder Egg Priority. This is another tough one, but I will be going for Mushoku Tensei, as that is probably my well, it's definitely in my top 5 favourite shows of the year. As a show, it might be my favourite. I'm not 100% sure. I think Attack on Titan might just beat it out. Of course, I've got a couple of movies that beat it out. But as an actual show, it's my favourite out of these ones, I think. Although not voting for Ranking of Kings and To Your Eternity is very tough on me, because I love both of these shows. Both really good, but again, I think Mushoku Tensei, I'm not sure why they just put in Core 1, including Core 1 and Core 2, beat it out for me personally. Wonder Egg Priority is good as well, of course, but from Wonder Egg Priority, I prefer the kind of serious elements of the characters, so not exactly the fantasy elements of that show. So yeah, my vote will be going for Mushoku Tensei Season 1 and Season 2. Then we've got Best Film to end it off on, and this is the one I looked at and the one I'm most disappointed in. As you can see, the nominations are Belle, which I haven't seen, Evangelion 3.0+1, which I haven't seen, Jose the Tiger and the Fish, which I haven't seen, Words Bubble Up Like a Soda Pop, which I haven't seen, Shirobaku the movie, which I haven't seen, and Demon Slayer the Mugen Train arc, which is the one I have to vote for. It's the only one I've seen. Again, very disappointed in this. No Violet Evergarden the movie, and no Gintama the Final. Not 100% sure when both of those came out. I kind of think Gintama the Final might have actually been released in Japan in 2020, so perhaps that's the reason it's not on the list. I know for a fact Violet Evergarden was released in 2021, though. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure on it, but I'm pretty sure that was released in 2021, and I have no idea how it's not here. I haven't heard of any of these other movies, to be honest with you guys. I haven't heard good things or bad things even about any of these movies. I heard nothing about him other than Evangelion, of course, and Demon Slayer the Mugen Train arc. But two of my favourite pieces of anime in general this year were Gintama the Final and Violet Evergarden the movie, both being in my top 5 pieces of anime I watched this year in general. So yeah, just very much a shame both of those wasn't placed here. Again, I kind of think if this was done by voting by people, if their fans voted for the best films of the year, those two would surely be here. But I'm guessing Crunchyroll picked the contenders here, and yeah, it's not really a battle for me personally. If those two were here, it would be very tough to pick between the two, but I think Gintama the Final would just make it the winner for me. Although Violet Evergarden the movie was a beautiful end to the series and wrapped up pretty damn perfectly in my opinion. So yeah, just a bit of a shame for those two. We will look on Demon Slayer the Mugen Train arc movie as the winner of this category, and don't get me wrong, that was a real good movie. A lot of great fight scenes and animation during the movie. That is for sure, but again, just story-wise, Gintama the Final and Violet Evergarden beat it out quite heavily. So yeah, just a bit of a shame here. Sours up the votes a little bit, but was a good year for anime, that's for sure. And looks like that is it. Again, let me know what you guys would have picked for the categories down in the comment sections. If there's any kind of glaring big mistakes I made in my votes, or if there's any. Or if you kind of agreed with everything I said, which I very much doubt, as everyone's kind of got their own opinion on a lot of the shows, and there were some very hard choices in here. Again, a lot of choices missing from a lot of the categories, which is a bit of a shame. Again, I would have maybe liked to see the fans vote for the contenders in the categories. That would be a good idea for Crunchyroll in the future, perhaps, if they let their fans do that. I'm not sure if it's a kind of marketing or if it's a kind of legal reasons they can't put some shows in here. Again, there was no Violet Evergarden at all in here, or any Gintama at all in here, so maybe for legal reasons they can't do that. Again, I don't really know, but yeah, very hopefully this was interesting for you guys. Again, I do like doing these videos and just kind of rambling on about my thoughts on the shows. So yeah, again, let me know what you guys would have voted down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy this video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with any of my reactions. Thank you guys again for watching. Thank you guys for supporting me for 2021 as well, and have a good rest of your day, guys.